from Wasilla, Alaska. I got into music. Day school was not an option for me. My parents were both musicians. My dad was one of the greats of his time. He worked with Petula Clark and Johnny Smith. He played with all those great guitarists. Earl Clue, George Benson, Chet Atkins, Les Paul. He was deep into music and blues, jazz, classical, everything he did it very, very well. And then my mom, I mean, she worked with Sammy Davis Jr. and you know that type of the show era kind of things. They just showmanship and music in general was not an option. My brother and sister played. I worked out of the same book that they worked out of, and they put the date at the bottom. You know, like Chip mastered this song at such and such. Lori mastered this song on such and such date. I do the math. Like, man, she was only 8 years old when she had this. I'm 11. What's my excuse? So we always had those markers. We always had the drive and everything to excel and do well in music. My iPod has a lot of books on tape, a lot of Daily Show with Jon Stewart, has basically things that I can, when I'm off on the road, can veg out and get away from music and not think about music for a little while. As far as actual music though, I do have that on there. Bands from Jim Blossom's Delamitri up to a lot of the current bands that we've worked with, Korn, Pop Evil, Still Standing, those guys. Some of the older bands that we've worked with, like Alice Cooper and Great White, Poison, Firehouse, those guys. It's cool to see, because these are albums that they recorded 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and to work with them and see those songs and everything live and see their progression. That's always pretty cool. My favorite thing when we're off on the road is to listen to bands from back home, the local bands that we've worked with, the Unread, Scratch, Sam's Theory, Gutter and the Onslaught. These guys that are people we've worked with, we've written with, we've been in the studio with, we've partied with, been on stage with. Those are always great things because no matter where you are in the world, you can put your iPod on, play their music, and it feels like you're home.
I carry